Williams and Harold Morrow are back deep for the Vikings, and a great kick by Houston, and the Vikings will start from the 20.
Dick, I think that's a great point you just said. See, about the great kick, there's a big wind, and it's going to play a very big part in today's game.
And right now, Brad Johnson, the quarterback of the Vikings, will be going against the wind. He has played well in a team record of 15 consecutive games with a scoring pass. Todd Stussy, Randall McDaniel, Jeff Christie, solid on the left side with Dixon and Stringer on the right. Matt talked about Robert Smith, Jake Reed, and Chris Carter. You won't find a better tandem in wide receiver. First play is to Robert Smith, and he gets a couple of yards out to the 23. Brad Culpepper making the tackle. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensively, Steve White is starting in place of Reagan Upshaw, who got the flu. Warren Sapp and Chidi Ahanatu, Brooks, Nickerson, and Porter, three speedy linebackers. Charles Mincy, an ex-Viking, starting at free safety today for the Buccaneers. It'll be 2nd down and 7 at the 23. Leroy Horde has come in, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Horde, who has missed 3 of the last 4 games for the Vikings, was stopped by Warren Sapp and a gain of 1.
You know, when you watch this Tampa Bay Buccaneer defense, you can see all the speed, and you see how they run to the football so well. Not only their secondary, their linebackers, but also their defensive line. The one place that they haven't really been tested is a team coming straight at them, and that's why I think Leroy Horde is in there right now.
Minnesota Vikings a lot more impressive on their opening drive so far this season than a year ago. On 3rd and 6, Brad Johnson has time, and his pass to Chris Carter is incomplete, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, if you're going to play Chris Carter, you better play him pretty physical, and you better get a jam on him, and that's what they're doing. You got to get your hands on him. You can't let him run clean. If you let him run clean, he's a very smart receiver, and he'll eat you up.
Mitch Berger will be kicking, and Carl Williams back deep for the Buccaneers. And Matt talked about the wind. It will be at the back of the Buccaneers for their first offensive sequence. Berger gets off a good high kick. Williams back to his 25. And Carl Williams is stopped. So a great kick that time, 51 yards by Mitch Berger. Now the Buccaneers on offense for the first time, and Trent Dilfer, who had a terrific game against the Vikings in week 3, completing 15 of 20 passes. He has Gruber, Pine, Mayberry, Diaz, and Odom protecting him. Spectacular Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott, 2 outstanding runners. And the receivers and Jackie Harris, the tight end. Bucks starting on their 31. Dilfer will pass on 1st down, and it's tipped incomplete, intended for Horace Copeland. Vikings defensively, and they're improving because of that man, John Randall, who has 8 sacks. Good pass rush by that line. Ed McDaniel, Jeff Brady in the middle, and Dixon Edwards, the linebackers. Orlando Thomas, who did not play 2 weeks ago before the break, is back in there at strong safety for the Vikings. Brings up a 2nd and 10. There's Randall, who will line up at different positions today. Shook drop by Dilfer, and this pass is caught by Copeland. And Corey Fuller right there, and a gain of 5 yards. It'll be 3rd down.
You know, Dick, we talked at the start of the game about getting back to basics. And the guy who had to work in his basics was Trent Dilfer. You know, just in talking to him, he said in that week, he said he noticed that his drop was out of whack. And so he went back to just concentrating on steps, setting his feet, and going back to the basics of football. And it's amazing that at every level of football, that's always the same.
That's what everyone tells us each week when they're having problems. 3rd and 5. Dilfer gets time, and this pass incomplete. It was intended again for Copeland and defended by Dwayne Washington. So each team goes 3 and out on their first offensive series.
You know, Dick, one thing you have to remember about this Tampa Bay offense is they do well when they can create third and short. When it's third and long is when they get into their problems.
Sean Landeta will be kicking to David Palmer. It was not thought that Palmer would play today. Suffered a sprained ankle on Friday, but he is second in the NFC in punt returns. Sean Landeta doing the kicking, and that was nearly blocked. And no flag down, and a good non-call by the official, as one of the Vikings was blocked into him. A 40-yard kick, and will return to Tampa. No score. Now the Minnesota Vikings get it again, starting from their 25 early here in the first quarter. Hunter Goodwin and Greg DeLong are the two tight ends. And Robert Smith go off the right side, and he picks up about 4 yards.
I think you watch this Minnesota offense, and everything revolves around Robert Smith. And the guy is healthy, and he's conscious of that, and he's sick of talking about it. But the thing is, he's 6'2", he's 210 pounds, and he runs. But the thing that's impressive about him is that he uses his speed between the tackles, where he's really good.
Only gained 54 yards on 10 carries because the Vikings fell behind early. Second down and 7. Brad Johnson up the middle to Robert Smith. It's caught for a minimal gain, and that will bring up third down and about 4.
A minimal gain because Derek Brooks read it faster than Brad Johnson read it. Derek Brooks, you know, is at the halfway mark, has been voted to the Sports Illustrated All-Pro team, and there's reasons why. He sees things and he's definitive, makes decisions, and he can fly. What they do with them is they keep him hit back there, keep people in front of him, and let him use his speed.
Chris Walsh has come in. A lot of targets for Brad Johnson, along with Matthew Hatchett, number 89, a rookie. Third and 4. Johnson underneath to Chris Carter, and Carter with a first down close to the 40-yard line, with Anthony Parker making the tackle, and the Vikings get the first down of the game.
Chris Carter is one of those players that can beat you with his head as easy as he can with his physical abilities, because he sees things develop so fast, and he'll just let you drop and just go you're not. He and Johnson are on the same page.
And he knows where pay dirt is with 7 touchdowns to lead the league. First and 10. And here is Carter again, gets by a defender and gets another Viking first down at midfield. Gain of 12 yards.
Just a matter of taking what the defense gives you. Brad Johnson sees it quick. He sees Chris Carter sitting outside, and Donnie Abraham takes a drop in his zone. So, heck, we'll take the 4 or 5 yards and then take your chances afterwards. And because of the physical abilities of Carter, he'll make you miss, picks up the first.
So the Vikings have the ball at midfield. First down. And Robert Smith is straight ahead. And a good gain of at least 5 yards on first down. Robert Smith, who has remained healthy, and that's always a key when you talk about number 26. Matt talked about the winds, which are gusting to 25 miles an hour, going from right to left as you watch the game. And the temperature, 85 degrees in this last week of October. Second down and 5, and the goalposts are even swayed by the winds. Second and 5. Robert Smith finds an opening up the middle. John Lynch will bring him down, but not before the Vikings get another first down.
Yeah,
pick up a 7.
You see what that was, Dick? That was patience. Watch Derek Brooks. He's going to come right up inside in a blitz, and then when you get the ball, you have to be patient. Let the fullback Evans make the cut, and then just use your eyes and get back inside. I talked to you about Robert Smith's ability to run inside, because he's a speed back. But he has the toughness and really does a good job of lowering his shoulders inside.
He has already averaged over 4 yards a carry. Vikings with a first down in Tampa Bay territory. Robert Smith again, and John Lynch again knocks him down. But Vikings, Matt, are getting terrific yardage on first down here.
And they're just winning the battle up front. This is what we talked about. We talked about a team that will go at that front. Remember, Tampa Bay's defensive down people are not very big. They're a defense based on speed and pursuit and getting to the ball. So if you just start pounding on them, they have problems.
And that's what the Vikings are doing on this series. Leroy Horde has checked in, number 44. And on the delay, here's Horde, and he is upended by Steve White, a late starter with Upshaw ill and unable to play, and no gain on second down.
You know, late start or not, a regular start, that's a heck of a play. And he took on the fullback, Evans, tried to just undercut it and still made the tackle. You better believe that Brian Billick, the offensive coordinator of the Minnesota Vikings, know that White's over there. So you test him and you see what he's got.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers looking for their first season sweep against a division opponent in 7 years. Ninth play of the drive on 3rd down and 5. Brad Johnson under pressure, and down he goes, and that's Warren Sapp with the sack.
That's Sapp with the sack, and that's great coverage down the field. He had enough time to be able to find that receiver, and he went and looked downfield, and he looked over here to Jake Reed, and Abraham had him, nothing there. Then he looked to the top side, and he looked inside to Walsh, nothing there. Looked down below, nothing there. And then when you take away all those receivers and there's no secondary guy, heck, Sapp is there and White was right there.
And a loss of 10 yards, and Mitch Berger, not a good kick this time around, and Carl Williams on the 15. And he is hemmed in and down at the 23-yard line. That was only a 29-yard kick by Berger, and the Buccaneers get it back. Still no score in Tampa. First down on the 24. And here's Warwick Dunn, and not letting go was Robert Griffith, and a short gain of 2.
You know, and you're going to start running the football. There's one guy on this defense that you have to take care of, and that's right here. That's John Randall. And you're Jim Pine, the offensive guard, and John Randall defines what he's going to do by jumping outside. Well, heck, you just stay right on him, get your hands on him. If you can get John Randall blocked consistently with his defensive front, you got a chance to run the ball.
And the Buccaneers are going to have to keep an eye on where 93 lines up today. 2nd and 8. Give is to Allstott, and holding on was John Randall.
And we just talked about getting him back. You know what I love about him? He's a warrior, and he lives it. And he starts before the game with anything. Watch this.
I think most guys, in the beginning of the game, you feel kind of cold. And when you go off in the first quarter, first series, you want to kind of get the feel of the guy. And I think in my pregame warm-ups, that's where I get over that coldness. And that first series, it feels like it's second quarter.
He walked into our meeting yesterday, and he actually did a pass rush and walking through the door.
He beat the door jam for a sack.
3rd down and 10. 3 wide receivers for the Buccaneers. Dilfer gets good protection, but the receivers are covered, and Dilfer takes off and will be way short of the sticks. Dwayne Washington chased him out of bounds, and so Tampa Bay will have to kick it away again.
That's good coverage down the field by Minnesota. You know what's interesting, Dick? I watch both these teams. They look like each other. I mean, they're set up the same way. They're trying to get the same things done. I mean, philosophically. And it's no surprise. I mean, Tony Dungy was under Dennis Green.
4 years as defensive coordinator. David Palmer goes back deep, and Sean Lendetta, who replaced Tommy Barnhart, who was out with a broken collarbone a couple of weeks ago. Palmer on the 30. And a good bit of running by Palmer to pick up a few more yards to the 38. We'll be back to Tampa. Still no score. Slant pass tipped away, and Donnie Abraham nearly picked it off.
Donnie Abraham's a player that looks like in a few years he's going to be outstanding because he gets it. What he gets is he understands what's happening in front of him. He's a good studier. He studies personnel. He studies patterns. And on that time, he watched Jake Reed and then made the break before Reed made the break. Last time they played Detroit, he was really upset with himself that he gave the big play up to Herman Moore at the end of the game.
But he is the foundation of this secondary for Tony Dungy. 2nd down and 10. Robert Smith dives forward to the 41-yard line, a pickup of 3. Derek Brooks in on the stop. Robert Smith, who before he left off gained over 100 yards in the Vikings' last victory against the Carolina Panthers. He picked up 120 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Leroy Horde seeing action, as we said, has been out 3 of the last 4 games for Minnesota. Again, 3 wide receivers for Brad Johnson. And the slant pass again. Donnie Abraham breaks it up, intended for Jake Reed, who's still looking for his first catch.
They keep trying to shove that in there to Jake Reed on the inside. Watch Donnie Abraham. Same thing. Reading the man, sees the pattern, boom. That's 2 plays in a row. So if you're a defender, what's in your mind? Your mind says they tried me twice. The next one is the pump and go. So you're going to have to start thinking about getting double moved.
And Jake Reed talking things over with Brad Johnson, perhaps just about that point. Mitch Berger in to kick it away. Carl Williams deep for the Buccaneers. Another great kick by Berger. And Williams is tackled just about at the 10-yard line by Harold Morrow. So Mitch Berger has been an early hero for the Minnesota Vikings. Still no scores. Dave Moore, the tight end, in motion. Play fake. And Trent Dilfer's pass knocked away incomplete. It was intended for Riddell Anthony, and defending was Wayne Washington. These are the records that Trent Dilfer has against NFC Central teams. Has had the most success against the Minnesota Vikings at 3-2. He'll have a 2nd down and 10 from the 11-yard line. Today so far, he is 1 of 4 for 5 yards.
We talked about him getting back to basics. He's going to have to be patient in the pocket.
2nd down and 10. Warwick Dunn with an opening. And he is tackled by Dixon Edwards after a gain of about 3. And he's 3rd down and 7. Dilfer trying to buy for some time. Chased by John Randall. And he doesn't quite throw it away as it lands on the playing field.
And you better, like we said earlier, you're going to have to get John Randall blocked. And he'll move all over on you. This time he's working on Paul Gruber. But you see Dave Moore, 83, he was going to have to be the guy who gave him a chip. So they committed 2 guys to Randall, and he still, with his speed and hustle, forces the play.
Tell you, the Minnesota Viking defense starting to get going now as we get to the midpoint, and they played well. Sean Landeta will kick from the goal line. David Palmer awaits. Palmer finds an opening and is quickly decked at the 44-yard line. So again, good field position coming up for the Vikings. Well, tonight Fox kicks off a week of Halloween screams with the Simpsons Scare-a-thon. A brand new Halloween special plus 2 classic episodes. Then Hank makes a deal with the devil on a brand new King of the Hill. It all starts tonight at 7, 6 Central on Fox.
Which one of the guests will be in our it looks like the Cat in the Hat. Looking for a red fish or a blue fish.
Yeah, he's the King of the Hill there.
There's some green eggs and ham.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line, and Robert Smith dragged down from behind by Hardy Nickerson after a pickup of 2.
Here's a guy that everybody on this Tampa Bay defense talks about is Hardy Nickerson. And they talk about him as being like the heart and soul and the guy who gets after you and gives you an attitude. He kind of is to Tampa what John Randall is to the Minnesota Vikings, because he gives you the attitude and he gives you the kind of direction that you're looking for.
And experience from the Steeler days for this young club. 2nd down and 8. And again, Robert Smith. And Smith is tackled by Tyoka Jackson, who has gone in for Steve White.
Tyoka Jackson made the tackle. The guy who made the play was coming off the quarter, Chidi Hanatu. Hanatu kind of got upfield and forced him back inside. And then Tyoka Jackson, from, hails from the #2 college team in the country.
Used to be 1, I believe. They were 1, weren't they, Matt?
They used to be. There was a time.
3rd down and 6. The Vikings just short of midfield. Brad Johnson's pass is caught by Walsh. And Chris Walsh with a 1st down inside the Buccaneer 40. and a gain of 14 yards.
That's a great job in the pocket by Johnson, and then scanning the field and able to find outside where Chris Walsh is. He knows where he's going. See, he looks back to the safety, tries to hold him, then goes back outside. The ball is thrown where it has to be because Donnie Abraham tries to make the play, but he went with his inside hand. Had he gone with his right arm instead of his left, he'd have been able to try to defend the pass and also make the tackle.
Vikings first down on the Buccaneers 38. Again to the air. Johnson's pass, and a flag is down. Incomplete. Robert Smith was the intended receiver up the middle. And it's been a penalty-free game until now. Johnny Greer, our referee, will explain. And the call is holding against Minnesota.
The strength of the Minnesota Vikings offensive line.
Illegal hands in the face. Number 64, offense. Still first down.
Is Randall McDaniel, who I was just going to say. The strength of the offensive line, you're going to see him right here. Randall McDaniel has been an all-pro for years. Very physical, extremely gifted as an athlete, but you could see his right hand went to the face of Warren Sapp, and that's what they're going to call.
First and 20.
10-yard penalty, first down and 20. Leroy Horde checking in for the Vikings. And Horde getting the handoff. Flag is down, and Horde tackled at the 42-yard line by the free safety Charles Mincy. So back-to-back penalties here. And this one will go against the Vikings as well.
And it's going to be a hold, and it's coming back. They tried a quick trap inside with David Dixon. And the umpire saw it right away, and the flag came out, so there was no mistaking it.
Holding, 64, offense.
That's another penalty
Repeat
against
first down.
Randall McDaniel. So 20 yards and penalties by Randall McDaniel on back-to-back plays. And there you see how the Vikings, after staying relatively penalty-free in the first 3 games, have picked up more than their share lately.
I was talking to Mike Tice, the offensive line coach, prior to the game, and he's been getting on Randall McDaniel about that, about keeping your hands inside because he's getting up high and latching on.
You better get to him again. First down and 30. Pump fake by Johnson, and he completes the pass. Let's see if they call it a good catch. They do, to Jake Reed, and a gain of 17 yards for Reed's first reception of the game.
It's first and long, and so he's going to look. There's the pump you see right now. He still has to scan the field, and the reason is everybody's sitting off. Here, Jake Reed had control when he came down with the ball. Both feet were in bounds, and then the hit made the ball pop out. But right there, see, he had control, and so it's a good catch.
And that is the end of the first quarter here at Tampa Stadium. No score between the Vikings and the Buccaneers. For the Minnesota Vikings. Brad Johnson goes underneath to Robert Smith, and he is hit by Hardy Nickerson, short of the first down by about 5 yards.
One thing that Brad Johnson has shown, man, it's his 6th year, but he really hasn't played, is patience, and he sees the field, and he's pretty heady out there. I like his decision making, and I like the fact that once he makes a decision, the ball comes out quick. So that time, you know, they're going to play the zones deep. They're not going to give him anything down the field. He sees it, and then boom, ball comes out right away.
And no one has better numbers than Brad Johnson in most of those categories that you just saw. 3rd and 6. They pick up the blitz, and Johnson's pass is complete. Chris Carter makes the catch inside the 15-yard line, and a gain of 20 yards, and the Vikings are rolling now.
Again, he throws that ball. I mean, that's a nice throw. Anthony Parker comes off the side. You see him right down here. Comes on a blitz. He sees Walsh down the field. Nothing's there. I mean, he was wide open, but his read took him to the top side. And then Walsh is going, man, I had 6. Get me the ball.
Woo. A lot of ways to go for Brad Johnson, and sometimes he'll throw it to himself.
Yeah, that's been done.
1st and 10 at the 14. And here the handoff, Robert Smith, and Chidi Ahanatu was the first to hit him. Warren Sapp helped out as well, and a loss of 2 yards.
You know, Warren Sapp, I think, in their scheme is the same kind of guy that John Randall's supposed to be in Minnesota's scheme, because he's not a real big guy at 280 pounds, but he has good strength and he also has good movement. That time he has 370 pounds of Corey Stringer blocking down on him. He's still able to hold it off and then bounce it back outside.
Big reason why the Bucs are 5th in the NFL against the run. 2nd down and 12. And Johnson going to Carter, who dives to about the 6-yard line. Picked up 9 yards on that play. Short of the first down. It'll be 3rd and about 3.
Yeah, I want you to watch Chris Carter. Watch how he runs his route. See, this isn't even a route. Remember I talked to you about how he plays with his head so much? All he's doing is letting things develop and just goes down and finds a hole. And then Johnson sees him and boom, you pick it up and you set up 3rd and short.
And who has better hands than Chris Carter?
You mean besides me?
Yes, of course. 3rd and 3. On the rollout, Johnson directing traffic. Here's Carter, and he is knocked out of bounds close to the first down by Rufus Porter. And let's see whether he got enough. Carter is pleading his case. The ball is at the 4. And it is a first down for the Vikings, and that'll bring up 1st and goal.
Now that was an example of patience by Brad Johnson, because Carter was covered. Carter was covered. He looked right at him. The defender was right on top, came back to the inside, and then when he broke, bang, ball came right out.
So a test for the Bucs defense. Robert Smith gets to the 2-yard line. Hardy Nickerson was the first to put the hit on it.
One thing, we were talking about Brad Johnson going back and making these throws and quick decisions. All that can happen when your offensive line is giving you time to throw. There has not been a pass rush generated. And you got to credit that offensive line.
Only 1 sack in the game, that by Warren Sapp. And the Vikings with a huge edge in ball control thus far. 2nd and goal at the 2. And a whistle. And a penalty.
Ball start. 73 offense.
Stussy, the left tackle, with the false start, will set the Vikings back 5 yards.
You watch old Todd Stussy right here, number 73, the offensive tackle. He and Randall McDaniel, you can see the jump right there. So once you're set, you can't have any movement. He and Randall McDaniel represent the strong part of that offensive line. And through this first half, they've had 3 penalties between them.
Buccaneers have been penalty free. 2nd and goal now at the 7. Andrew Glover in motion, and the give is to Robert Smith, trying to cut inside, and he gets to the 6-yard line. It'll bring up 3rd and goal. That time it was Brad Culpepper. This is a very tough defensive front that the Buccaneers have.
When they get to the football, Derek Brooks is there, Hardy Nickerson, Rufus Porter, Culpepper, Sapp. The one thing that you'll notice always about this defense is that they're always around the ball. Sometimes you don't have to look anywhere. You just see 11 guys right there. That's great team defense.
Leroy Horde gets the call in the backfield. The 12th play of the drive on 3rd down and goal. Brad Johnson chased by Ahanatu, and he goes down. It was Sapp and Ahanatu with the sack, and a big one for the Bucs, their 2nd of this first half.
Now, the whole thing started up front with Warren Sapp, and then Ahanatu came through as well. And it's also because there's great coverage down the field. And a great job of Sapp starting upside and then coming down. And he's the guy who forced Brad Johnson out of there. He felt Sapp first, and then Ahanatu came around the outer belt loop and got himself the sack ski.
And Eddie Murray, the oldest active player in the NFL at age 41, will attempt a 30-yard field goal. And this kick hits the goal post and bounces down, no good. And it was the defense on 3rd down by the Buccaneers that set it up. Minnesota comes up empty on the sack, and Eddie Murray's miss from 30 yards out. Still no score. 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line following the missed field goal by Murray. Trent Dilfer on a rollout, and the pass is caught by Riddell Anthony. And a first down for the Buccaneers. And right now from
After they got trounced last week in the running game.
1st and 10 at the 43-yard line after the completion to Anthony. And here is Warwick Dunn. And a good play on first down. A gain of 5 yards with Dixon Edwards bringing him down. Tampa Bay has started slowly offensively in this game. Their first 3 possessions did not net them a first down. And the pass to Anthony just moments ago was their first of the game, and they are close to midfield. It'll be 2nd and 5.
But I'm going to tell you one thing. You can see Riddell Anthony there on the bench, but the one thing about this with Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator, is that they're patient, and that's a great trait to have when you're calling plays.
Anthony with an ankle problem. Carl Williams replaces him, and Trent Dilfer going deep overthrows Carl Williams, who was defended downfield by Dwayne Washington.
Well, that was going to be a big part of their game plan, was run the football, come back, play action down the field. Every now and then you're going to have to take your shot. And Dwayne Washington is a guy who sometimes will squat on a receiver, and by that I mean he'll take him to 10 yards and then hold his spot. And if you can play action and try to get him to squat, you can get over the top of him, but he didn't do that.
There's Mike Shula.
Yeah, right here, the offensive coordinator. I think he does a pretty good job.
He does, and he's got Dunn and Anthony to work with, 2 number 1s. He's got great speed.
They usually make you better when you get players.
3rd and 5. Pressure up the middle, and Randall on Dilfer, and bringing him down finally is Fernando Smith. No question, this Minnesota Viking defense has jumped up notches, and a loss of 2 yards will bring up 4th down.
Well, we talked about it again. You know, it's the John Randall show. This time they're going to run a stunt. He comes inside, and all that is miscommunication. John Randall takes it to the outside. Nobody picks him up. That's impossible to me. The whole focus of your pass rush is John Randall, and you leave him go.
David Palmer is back deep as Sean Landeta with a line drive kick. And Palmer fields it on the 1-yard line.
Palmer panics.
You got to let it stay in the field or maybe go in the end zone for a touchback. 53-yard punt by Landeta, and the Vikings are deep in their own territory. And a running play to Leroy Horde, spins off a defender, still on his feet, and Leroy Horde will get a first down, but a flag is down, and this will go against the Minnesota Vikings. That'll nullify the first down.
Warren Sapp looks like he broke something on his helmet. He needs another helmet. Now, what happens in the heat of the battle like that, sometimes you just grab somebody else's helmet because you want to get out there.
Please reset the game clock.
Sapp doesn't want to break. He wants a helmet.
Well, he's getting a break because of the announcement.
They're working. They're like the Indy pit crew down there getting that thing back out.
False start penalty, and the ball down at the 2-yard line. Brad Johnson completes to Chris Carter, who's tackled from behind, short of the first down by about 2 yards. Johnson now has completed his last 7 passes, and already Chris Carter has caught 6 in this first half.
Now Warren Sapp's back in, so you can put one of those Indy pit stop clocks on him. They did a pretty good job. One play and he's back out there.
He might have played without the helmet if he could.
A.J. Foyt would be proud of him right now.
2nd down and 1. Johnson with a short drop, overthrows Carter, and that'll bring up 3rd and 1. That was normally an accurate passer, Brad Johnson. He was way off the mark on that attempt, so it'll be 3rd down and 1.
I want you to see what Brad Johnson is looking at, and maybe sitting at home and thinking, why are they getting rid? This is what the corners are doing. They're sitting off, and they're giving him a good cushion. Brad Johnson's coming up to the line of scrimmage and say, you know what? I'm going to take that cushion. Bing. I'm going to take my chances. That time, the ball, was a poor throw, but he knew what he wanted to do.
3rd and 1. Johnson
there it is.
Another pump fake. And on his way down, lifts a pass that is caught by Greg DeLong. The 3rd tight end on the Vikings makes the biggest play of the game of 22 yards and a first down to the 35.
That's a great throw, but I'm going to tell you something. Watch the pressure inside on Brad Johnson. Sapp comes inside, White comes, and because of that right there, that averted a huge play because he had to pull off the double pump move to the top side, which was wide open, and White hit him, and then DeLong comes back and makes the catch on Rufus Porter.
That's a great composure by Brad Johnson on that play.
He's pretty good.
First down at the 34. Leroy Horde slips and dropped. Horde, by the way, filled in when Robert Smith went down with injury toward the end of last season and helped the Vikings get into the playoffs.
Now, I want to show you this. This is what Brad Johnson, they've been setting up. See, now here comes the pump fake. Watch down below. They've been setting that quick throw the whole time. Here's the pump. There's the bite. Look at this. If he could get the ball off, he has himself a big play. But because of the pressure by White inside, he has to go the other side.
2nd down and 9 on the Viking 35. Horde in motion to the left, and the pass to Andrew Glover, and the tight end gets very close to the first down.
You have to talk about Andrew Glover. I mean, everybody's talking about him. You heard Howie Long in our pregame show talking about Andrew Glover because they like the dimension that he's added to this offense. You can see the catches in the last 2 games have jumped up. He's a guy who can get to the middle. He's got good hands, and he'll make the catch. He'll make the tough catch. What that does is it starts getting your safeties involved in the inside coverage, and that opens up Reed and Carter outside.
And then you can't double Reed and Carter if you have Glover effectively up the middle.
If you want to do that, then it puts pressure on your linebacker, Hardy Nickerson, who has to cover him man-to-man.
3rd down 1. 4:38 remaining in the first half. Fake handoff to Leroy Horde, and the pass to Chris Walsh. And they say that the pass was a catch at the 40-yard line. Good concentration by Walsh, good for 17 yards, and the Viking first down in Bucs territory.
You know that attitude that John Randall has? He has that warrior stuff, and the game means so much to him. Chris Walsh has the same thing. Look at the hands. Hands are under it. He had control. Right hand was underneath. It's a good call by the official. Walsh approaches the game the same way Randall does. He's kind of a nut, and I love that.
Minnesota with 8 first downs to only 1 for Tampa Bay. Here's Leroy Horde, and nothing doing there. Rufus Porter broke in, and no gain on the play will bring up now 2nd and 10. Clock running, 3:45 to go in the first half. Few people with this explosive Minnesota offense would have predicted a scoreless game to this point, but both defenses have dominated.
And I would be one of them. You know, this thing, the thing with this offense, though, is they've been methodically moving the ball. And you have to look at it the other side, too. Tony Dungy is going to make them play the percentages and have to move the ball the length of the field and hope that you mess it up.
Play action for Johnson. And his pass tipped incomplete. And it was intended for Jake Reed.
And this is what I'm talking about. This is a perfect example. So, okay, first down, boom, we stop him. 2nd down, incomplete pass. Now it sets up 3rd and long. And now what happens is the percentages start to swing in the favor of the defense. That's the kind of defense that Tony Dungy will play. It doesn't have to be flashy. We get to the ball, play good basics, and hope that you beat yourselves.
9th play coming up. This is a critical game for the Buccaneers. A lot of people wonder whether flash in the pans after 5 wins. They've lost 2. This is a big one. 3rd down and 10. Up the middle on the pass underneath to the tight end Hunter Goodwin. And not much on that.
Now they ran a zone blitz. Hardy Nickerson lined up inside and came back the other side. They also dropped Sapp out inside. And so they're trying to confuse them with different looks. Watch Hardy. He's coming back inside, and he sees Hunter Goodwin. Heck, the perfect call by the defense. Monty Kiffin called himself a good play right there. And so percentages are back in your favor. You win.
Mitch Berger, who has unloaded kick of 51 and 54 yards. This is a pooch kick trying to keep it in play, and Chris Walsh is there to down it inside the 5-yard line.
There's my guy. That's the kind of stuff that I like about him. It means something to him. He goes out and makes the play. You're a receiver, catch the ball.
Jerry Ball is in at defensive tackle, the 11-year veteran, and the handoff to Warwick Dunn, and Dunn just gets it past the 5-yard line, where Ball, the 11-year veteran who had played with the Oakland Raiders and the Detroit Lions, makes the play.
Jerry Ball, they're trying to get a guy who can set the point, you know, and drop that anchor, and then also a guy who provides some leadership. And, you know, you heard John Randall last night. We were talking to him. He said, boy, we got Jerry Ball in there, and he's going to really help the young guys.
And we're down to our 2-minute warning here at Tampa Stadium. No score between the Vikings and the Buccaneers. We'll be right back. Dilfer in his own end zone. Up the middle, completes to Allstott. And Mike Allstott close to the first down at the 15-yard line, tackled by Brady and Ball. That was only the 3rd completion for Dilfer.
And only the 2nd time Allstott's got the ball in the first half.
Carried 1 time. Warwick Dunn only has 4 attempts in this first half, so it's been a passing game for the Buccaneers. It'll be first down, Tampa Bay.
They came out throwing the football, and they haven't stopped, which is kind of surprising. All week they talked about going back to basics, pounding the football. The best passing offense is their play-action game.
First and 10 at the 15-yard line. Allstott gets the carry and doesn't get much. Each team has all 3 of its timeouts remaining as we get close to the 1-minute mark. Well, who was the last player to intercept a pass and throw an interception in the same game? That's our Aflac trivia question today, and our answer, Tony Dungy with the Pittsburgh Steelers back in 1977 against the Houston Oilers.
I think Tony Dungy is one of the top 3 teaching coaches that I've ever been around. I think he is excellent.
And a very low-key, steady coach. Whether they win or lose, you don't see much of an expression change with Dungy.
And a real logical guy, explains everything.
2nd down and 9 on the 16, and the give to Allstott with a burst. And Allstott to the 22-yard line, where Robert Griffith on the hit. Want to remind you, coming up on the Dockers Khakis halftime report, GB, Terry, Howie, and Ronnie will bring you scores and highlights from around the league. That's coming up on the Dockers halftime, and that will do it for the first half. And many of you may want to know about Dungy as a quarterback. Well, he was at college at Minnesota, and he relieved Harry Bradshaw on the day he threw the TD and the interception.
So it's Bradshaw's fault again.
Of course. Well, the crowd not happy with the Buccaneers sitting on the ball in the final moments. But that was smart play. That is the end of the first half with the score. The Vikings nothing and the Buccaneers nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue with the Dockers Khakis halftime report after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
Though.
Report after these messages and a word from your local Fox station.
Thing though is it's gone towards the pass. Part of that was the wind was in their favor. The other part was they started running well in the first half, Robert Smith, but then when you look at his stats at halftime, he only has 30 yards rushing on 11 attempts. So they've done a good job of stopping him.
Let's look at the Minnesota Vikings first half possessions. Of course, the missed field goal, 4 punts, 169 total yards. They've had some possibilities. They really drove the field a lot more than Tampa Bay did. On the other hand, the Buccaneers did a great job in curtailing Robert Smith.
Well, it's what I said in the middle of the first quarter, the first half rather, and that's this. Tony Dungy's defense is going to play percentages. They're going to let you drive the field until you make a mistake, and then they'll capitalize on it.
Smith with 11 carries and only 30 yards in the first half, but it'll be the Bucs who get the ball first. Not a good kick, and it's Riddell Anthony on the short kickoff on the return, and he brings it out to the 37-yard line. A very active first half for the great tackle John Randall of the Vikings.
Well, we said at the start that they're going to have to get him blocked if they're going to do anything, and you can see what happens. Sometimes you get him blocked, and he still does it. Watch the smile on his face. See, he loves it. That's why I love this guy. He approaches it every play like it's his last play and loves it while he's doing it. Look at him, give him a spanking at the end there.
Number 93, Always one to watch when you're going against the Vikings defense. 1st and 10 for Tampa Bay on their 36. Play action on 1st down. Trent Dilfer is going deep, and Horace Copeland downfield incomplete. He was covered by Corey Fuller in a foot race.
Fernando Smith ended up on Dilfer. He did get some pressure. You're going to watch Smith come right down inside and get up and then get the hit. But it wasn't before he was able to set his feet and make the throw to Copeland down the field. And had this throw been just a little bit better, Copeland had a chance.
Copeland caught only one pass in the first half, coming in as the leading receiver for the Buccaneers. It'll be 2nd down and 10 on the 36. Riddell Anthony on the sidelines as Carl Williams has replaced him at wide receiver, number 86. And the give is to Allstott. Ahead, Allstott gets to the 40-yard line. He's listed as a fullback, but he is a running back, one of 2 that the Bucs have along with Warrick Dunn.
You can see the last time they played, heck, they had themselves a pretty good day. A total of 140 yards today, only 29, and really Allstott not having much of any kind of a day. They only handled the ball maybe 2 or 3 times. Kind of interesting what's going on. They talked about getting back to basics, and they wanted to not put themselves in 3rd and 5+, but by throwing on 1st and complete, you're putting yourself in a tough position.
3rd and 6 now. And full protection for Dilfer, and he gets the pass off to Horace Copeland. They'll check it, Warrick Dunn out of the backfield, and Dunn with a 1st down and a gain of 15 yards.
Well, it all starts up front. We've been talking about John Randall. You think he drew a crowd? You know, they were going to make sure he wasn't going to come inside, so they checked him down inside.
Carl Williams on the receiving end.
Yeah, and Williams was able to beat Wheeler, who fell down underneath, and a nice job by Dilfer of finding the open guy.
And the first 3rd down conversion of the day by the Buccaneers. They are in Minnesota territory at the 45, 1st down. And the give is to Dunn, and he's hit immediately by Robert Griffith, coming up strong from the secondary.
That's a guy who I like, that Robert Griffith. You know, so much is talked about is how he comes to the line of scrimmage, and he really does do a good job. Not the biggest guy, and so he likes to use that E equals MC, you know, that force. That's what it is.
Einstein.
Yeah, he likes to use that force, mass times his acceleration. He's got to get that part done because he comes up flying, and because of his speed, it makes him bigger, I think.
E equals MC squared.
Yeah, that was energy, mass times the speed. That's no good.
I didn't think so. 2nd down and 8. Pressure put on Dilfer, dumps it off to Allstott, and Brady coming in to make a fine play, and we'll have a loss of 3 with Brady making his first play, and good pressure by the man you were just talking about, John Randall.
Well, you know, you're going to get a tough rush up the field. One of the ways to try to make that slow down a little bit is to give him some screens. But if you're going to defend a screen and you're in man coverage, you got to jump it right away. And that's exactly what Brady did. He saw his coverage and got right on top of him. Look at the war paint on him. Look at that. See that right on his face? That's his war paint because he thinks every week he goes into a battle.
This is a battle. 3rd and 11. Trent Dilfer's pass is incomplete. Intended for Riddell Anthony. And once again, the Buccaneers will have to kick it away. They have not managed to mount much of an offense today against this Viking defense. David Palmer on to receive the kick. Sean Landetta, who joined the club 2 weeks ago against the Lions when Barnhart, their normal punter, went out with a broken collarbone, lost for the season. Good high kick by Landetta. Palmer inside the 10 and gets to about the 15. Well, we've had nothing but back and forth. No score early here in the 3rd quarter. We'll be right back. 15-yard line. Leroy Horde finding an opening off the right side. A very hard runner is Horde, and he gets to the 21 and a gain of 6. Charles Mincy, former Viking, making the tackle on Horde.
Well, when they go with nickel personnel offensively, you have to counter. But what they're doing is just a little X and O's back and forth. If you come out with throwing personnel, you have to match it up. Then you take Leroy Horde, who's a hammer back there, and you run at that nickel defense.
And there is Floyd Young, an undrafted rookie from Texas A&M Kingsville, who is the nickel back. 2nd and 3. Again, Leroy Horde trying to deep the defense, but Brad Culpepper makes the tackle.
Culpepper made the tackle, but I'm going to tell you something. Mincy got waxed in there by Chris Walsh. Remember you saw Chris Walsh a couple weeks ago laying people out blocking? And I told you about his special teams prowess and how he approaches it like Randall. Watch him. He's not going in there for anything other than to whack somebody. And then he finishes it off on top of it. That's why I always liked him. A guy like Chris Walsh would always be on my team.
3rd down and 1 coming up. There's Reed and Carter. 2 great targets for Brad Johnson. Leroy Horde is over at the sideline.
Remember, he had a bad shoulder. Looks like he may have aggravated that thing again.
3rd down and 1 at the 24. Mo Williams is in at running back, and the give is to Charles Evans. And the first carry of the game for fullback Charles Evans, and a Viking 1st down to the 30. Leroy Horde on the sideline. He has a bruised shoulder, so you're absolutely right, Matt. He's aggravated the shoulder problem that has kept him out of action, and now Horde has come back in. So good news for the Vikings.
Yeah, bothered him so much he went right back in.
He's about enough 3 of the last 4 games. So he's in there at 1st down on the 30. Johnson, his pass knocked away by Anthony Parker, intended for Chris Walsh, and a fine defensive play by Parker.
Yeah, I want you to watch how Anthony Parker defends him. And what he's going to do, he's going to come down. Brad Johnson looks the field over, looks to the left, now comes back right. And Anthony Parker playing underneath. See how the inside hand? See the inside hand? He's going to come up inside. See, watch him right over here. What he's going to do is he's going to take the inside hand and keep the top hand to make the play, the tackle if he has to. But the inside hand goes and works the ball.
2nd down and 10. Here is Horde with a stop and go move. And Horde with close to 1st down yardage. Melvin Johnson making the tackle, the former starter in the secondary, and they may be just shy.
Well, there's Glover inside right here, and then Stussy and McDaniel, but the key is right here on Glover. See, you always talk about running the football, and always, when you have a good running game, there's always a tight end who's getting involved. And then the other thing is down the field you have to block. And Chris Walsh, I'll tell you what, I'm going to take Chris Walsh and I'm going to give him some of John Randall's war paint.
Sell him to John Madden for the All-Mountain team. 3rd and 1. Brad Johnson stays on his feet and completes the play to Chris Carter, but Brad Johnson, who is on his way down, had the presence of mind to hang in there and complete a 19-yard pass to Chris Carter.
Watch Steve White right here, and he's going to go airborne, and Johnson sees him, stays with it, sets his feet, and throws. Heck, he ripped his little thingy off. Did you see that? I don't know what that little white thing come flying out, either a wristband maybe, or
white thingy.
It was a thingy. Thingy came popping out. He still was able to stay with it and make the throw.
Carter now has caught 7 passes for 80 yards, and a 1st down for the Vikings on the Buccaneer 42 in a scoreless game. Leroy Horde is going to be wrestled down by John Lynch, and a loss of 4 yards on the play. Well, a lot of respect does Tony Dungy have for the quarterback on the team he used to work with, the Minnesota Vikings.
Brad and I spent a lot of time together because he always threw the scout team for the defense, and was the best scout team quarterback I've ever been around because he had the ability and he could make the throws, but he would listen to you as a coach and throw the ball where you wanted it and understand what you were trying to get done and the look that you needed to give the defense, and he's matured into a great player.
And he was beaten out by Casey Weldon at Florida State, but no one has beaten him out here in Minnesota now. 2nd and 14, good play fake by Johnson, and the pass is caught by Andrew Glover, and the Vikings tight end will get the 1st down to the 30-yard line. And now an injured player, Charles Mincy, who I think was hurt in the collision with Chris Walsh, is leaving the stadium. Robert Smith, and this It's something you never like to report for a running back that has had injury problems so often in his career. He has a slightly sprained ankle, and this guy has had a history of injuries, and you just hope he can get through a season, Matt.
Well, you see right there the games that he's missed and coming off the knee from last year, but they need a healthy Robert Smith. I mean, any offense could use that, a healthy Robert Smith.
Here's Leroy Horde with a burst up the middle, and Horde picking up 8 yards before Anthony Parker brings him down.
One of the things that the Bucs are doing is because they're not the biggest group inside, they don't have a lot of size, and if they just line up, that offensive line will just mash them. So what they do is they go with movement. And so what happens is kind of a feast or famine kind of theory. If you catch them in the right movement, you could catch them for a loss. However, if they block it right, you pop one up the middle until your safety makes the play.
10th play of the drive on 2nd and 3. Mo Williams is the lone running back. And Williams with the carry, and he gets it up for the first down. Hardy Nickerson rides him down, but not before Minnesota gets a new first series inside the 20.
That offensive line's doing the job. I mean, Christie inside, a smart guy, sees things, makes the call. Then you get the right side, guys just cut off. You see Stussy, McDaniel, David Dixon 71, Corey Stringer 77.
The total yardage.
I mean, it doesn't have to say anything. Just look at the total yards. And a lot of running the football.
How about their defensive line? This has been a good line of scrimmage day for Minnesota. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line, and the Vikings will call a timeout. That is their first, and will return to Tampa with 5:31 remaining in the 3rd. After the timeout by the Vikings, Brad Johnson looking, flag is down, fires it out of bounds.
I don't know how he sees those things. Seems like he sees things just right at the last second and makes the throw.
Johnny Greer, our referee. Not had many penalties today. This one will go against the Vikings.
Orlando Thomas getting a rub down on the sideline. You know, you talk about Tampa's defense being on the field so long. Conversely, the Minnesota defense hasn't been.
That's why they got time for a massage.
Illegal shift on the offense. 2 men moving prior to the snap and failing to reset. The penalty is declined. 2nd down.
And the rest of the Viking defense.
You know, I'll tell you who that drives nuts is John Randall. He wants to get back out there.
Leroy Horde is the running back behind Brad Johnson. 2nd and 10 after the penalty was declined by the Bucs. Here is Horde looking for a blocker in running room. Leaps over a defender and is knocked out of bounds by John Lynch at the 12-yard line. And 3rd down and 3, and they give it to Horde, and making the big play was Hardy Nickerson.
Bingo. There's the play you need, and there's the guy who has to give it to you. And how does he do it? He reads it fast, because this thing looks like it's going to open up. They're gonna bring this right around, and he reads that. Watch him hit it. Bing, right inside. David Dixon pulled too wide. Nickerson read it, came off tight inside, just like you draw it up.
So now the burden on the shoulders of Eddie Murray, who set an NFL record for conversions 2 weeks ago. Missed his first attempt from 30. This is a 29-yard field goal attempt, and this kick is good. And so finally, the Vikings break the tie. Eddie Murray with a 29-yard field goal after Hardy Nickerson forced the Vikings to go for 3. They got 3 earlier when Murray missed his 30-yarder in the 2nd quarter. That was a 13-play drive, so that'll give you an example of how the Vikings have controlled the ball today. Eddie Murray with the kickoff, and it's returned by Ellison, and he is down. So Jerry Ellison on the kick return, 12 yards back, and when we come back, the Bucs will have it on their 22.
Offensive line.
Bucs starting from the 21, and here is Warwick Dunn. And Dunn tackled by Robert Griffith, and a good gain on 1st down of about 7 yards.
You know, Dick, we talked at the start of the game about this Buccaneer offense, and the guy who has big plays in him is Warwick Dunn. You see him handling the ball 6 times, only for 20 yards. They need to get him in a position where he can use his speed and ability to make you miss. To get him out in the flats, kind of dump the ball out.
And a quiet game for Mike Alstott as well, with only 8 yards and 4 carries. 2nd and 3. Again, they go to Dunn. And once again, the play is made, this time by
See, Dick, what they're doing. Yeah, they know that. And so Minnesota is just going to give you that 8-man front. They're going to walk Robert Griffiths. Watch. Starts here and he walks up. Now you got 8 people up here. And you have 6 people blocking him. 7 if you count the fullback. And so all of a sudden, you have a guy you can't block. And in this case, it's Pete Bursich on the backside.
That'll bring up 3rd down and 1. And back on the field is Charles Mincy. And a play action on 3rd and 1. And Dilfer has nowhere to go. Flag is thrown. Fernando Smith got to him first. But there's a penalty.
Did you hear Orlando Thomas right at the start of the play? He saw something right away. And he started screaming. It was to Robert Griffiths. They just gave each other a high five as he walked off. Orlando Thomas saw it and started screaming.
Holding 73 offense. It's declined. 4th down.
Frank Middleton, who had come in for George Diaz at right guard. So it is 4th down, and once again, the Buccaneers can't muster anything.
Yeah, listen to Orlando Thomas. He was telling him where to line up, and Griffiths was lined up the opposite side. OT told him back to get back. Then came up, and it didn't matter anyway.
Here's Palmer on the return of Landetta's kick, trying to turn the corner, and David Palmer down the sidelines. And Howard finally knocked him out of bounds. And a great return by the second leading punt returner in the NFL. And a 56-yarder.
The whole thing was set up by Greg Briggs' block. You're going to see Briggs flash. He's going to come right over here. He's going to set the ball. Watch 43. Pow! Right there. See that? That opens this whole sideline. And then Morrow right there clears it. And then it's a foot race. And a nice job of taking the angle right there. Takes the angle, and he's able to get him out of bounds. Mo Williams did a nice job. And then it's Kenneth Gant. You're going to get Kenneth Gant blocked. You got to force him out of bounds to keep him down. And they got that done.
David Palmer sprained an ankle Friday, was not expected to play today. A 56-yard punt return. 1st and goal for Minnesota on the 8. The first back through is Charles Evans, and he is stopped at the 1. So a spectacular special teams return by the Minnesota Vikings, who lead 3-0, setting up what could be the first touchdown of the game.
Well, you know, Tony Dungy's thought that with this win, it would be special teams would be big in field position, and he was right. And then the other thing is, one of the questions that had to be answered by this Tampa defense was if it could handle somebody pounding on them all day long. For the most part, I think they've gotten it done.
Second and goal from the 1, Leroy Ford.
Good job.
And a good job by the middle of the Tampa Bay defense will bring up 3rd and goal.
Look at that picture. There's all 11 guys on the ball. All 11 guys. There was nobody else anywhere. They're all attacking, everybody on top of the football. To me, that's good coaching. Now watch, you got 11 guys all here. The ball's going to go inside. Watch everybody converge. Boom, there's the hit. And here he comes at the end. So at the bottom of that, look at, there's 11 guys on the football.
Can't have more than that.
I think you're right.
And the give is to Charles Evans, and Evans close to the goal line. Touchdown, Minnesota.
Well, that didn't look like he got in from here. We'll have to watch that one again.
And the Tampa Bay players are indicating that Evans did not get that ball across the plane before he was down.
And I was saying it's in. It's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown.
Once that official puts his arms up, it's in. But from this standpoint, it didn't look like Rufus Porter got him. Here's Rufus Porter. He's going to come down inside. He's going to get the hit. Now remember, the knee. Once the knee goes down, boom, there he is. Keep going. Knee is down. That's not a score. Did you see the ball at the end wasn't over?
Eddie Murray with the 238 consecutive conversion, and the Minnesota Vikings have now taken a 10-0 lead with 28 seconds to go.
Not even close.
The third quarter.
Yes.
Well, if you're a Buccaneer fan, you should be upset. Riddell Anthony on the kick return with less than a half a minute to go in the third quarter. Keeps his footing. And a couple of moves, and Dwayne Rudd brings him down. And Tony Dungy had a right to argue the way he did during the break.
And Tony will do it logically and say, how can you make that call? You're on the other side. Johnny Greer will come in and try to placate him. But look, hey, you're only human out there. You're trying to make the right calls. They're not out there to try to blow it. But I got news for you. They did. There's the hit. There's the knee. Ball still behind. They keep it going. Keep it going. Ball comes out. You can see right here, the ball is not crossed the plane. Here's the official. Here's the X-ray eyes. It don't work.
You're absolutely right. First and 10 at the 23 with 15 seconds to go in the third quarter. Trent Dilfer trying to bring the Bucs back, and the pass complete to Horace Copeland for 9 yards, and that will be the final play of the quarter. And that is the end of the third quarter with the score: the Vikings 10, the Buccaneers nothing. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station. One for the Bucs from the 32-yard line, and Allstott dives forward. Vikings claim that Allstott did not get the yard he needed, and apparently he did not.
Hey, you see the reason why? You see Jeff Brady attacked that thing, took the lead block, just took it right on, blew it up, then gave somebody else a chance to make the play.
This is a well-rested Minnesota defense.
You can tell by the yawns between their face masks.
52 plays to 28, over 30 minutes to under 15 minutes.
Look at that, double the time.
That is an incredible edge in ball control for the Vikings. Third down and 2 from the 31, and they give it to Warrick Dunn. And Warrick Dunn maybe on the second effort. Let's see where they spot the ball.
Yeah, he was stopped short. You know, the offensive line got the surge, but Warrick Dunn couldn't follow it. They were trying to go with power football inside, and it just didn't happen. You have your power backfield, but if your offensive line doesn't get the push, you're not going anywhere.
And we have an official's timeout, and we're going to have a measurement. But he does appear short of the first down yardage. Minnesota leading 10-0. The Vikings under Dennis Green, whose autobiography came out this week and causing a furor in the Twin Cities. Short of the first down by about a foot, but the Vikings trying to extend their winning streak to 4 in a row.
They were hoping they were going to get a spot like that touchdown. You know, when you don't have something but you get it anyway. Yeah. Little shot ski there.
I get what you mean.
I had to take it.
Fourth down and a foot. Dilfer with the quarterback sneak. He's got the first down. So the Buccaneers maintain possession, but they're trailing by 10. Remember, in their loss to the Lions 2 weeks ago, they only scored 9 points, so their offense has slowed up considerably. It is Tony Dungy's house. And the Buccaneers just got their first down on the ground. We'll be right back. Fake to Mike Allstott, and Dilfer under pressure going deep. And there's a receiver downfield, and it's Riddell Anthony who gets up and gets a couple of more. Riddell Anthony with a big play of 30 yards, the biggest of the game for Tampa Bay.
That's nicely set up by the play action inside, and then Anthony knows where he has to go, working on Parker. See, the ball is thrown to the top side. The reason it's thrown there is because he has the middle of the field all to himself. They go play action, you make him bite up inside, and then to the top side. Dilfer sees it, stands in there knowing he's going to get hit. That's a tough thing to do, and makes a throw.
And a great catch by Anthony. Dilfer 7 of 14 for 87 yards. First down on the 36 of Minnesota. Dilfer looking to throw again, and he's got a wide open man, and he's got his tight end, Dave Moore. Big play and a first down inside the 10.
This is out of Norv Turner's playbook from last year. It's a copy deal. What they try to do is they get you going the other way. They're going to try to do, they're going to take you and make you come this way. And see what happens is Moore is supposed to come this way. And it's a play that everybody runs. And so you get your backer to bite and anticipate to the top side. Then you take Moore and bend him back to the other side. And you go against what you normally see. And it's a big play.
You got to have a good arm to go cross field like that. Fernando Smith back in the lineup for the Vikings. First and goal at the 8 for the Buccaneers. This is their best scoring chance of the day. And Dilfer's pass tipped, and a flag is down in the end zone.
That was not a smart pass.
Moore, the tight end who just caught a 28-yarder, was the intended receiver.
And he threw that thing right into the middle of traffic. Maybe he was trying to throw it away and didn't get enough mustard on it, but you don't try to make the play there. You live for another down.
And the penalty will be against the Tampa Bay Bucks, and
offensive pass interference.
Right. And Carl Williams, or is that
Pass
Copeland?
interference, number 83, offense. Still first down.
And that is the first penalty by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this game.
Well, it's going to be Dave Moore, the tight end first. He's going to chip on Fernando Smith. Okay, I'm looking for it. I don't see it. That's a bad call. And it's a bad call because he's going to say that Griffith, see that he's going to run into Griffith and try to block him out of there. Griffith was coming up to try to get a smack on him in that 5-yard area. Bad call.
First penalty, but a tough one against the Bucks. First and goal at the 18. And the give to Warwick Dunn. He breaks the tackle, and Warwick Dunn gets inside the 5 to the 2.
You see who set the whole thing up? The block by Dave Moore. And you got Dave Moore. They got him on a bad call earlier, and now watch number 83 this time. Boom, take him outside, create the lane on Eddie McDaniel, and stays with it. And because he stays with it, Warwick Dunn can stop and then redirect. Bounce outside, look at the vision, and then hit your second gear.
And Orlando Thomas of the Vikings is shaken up on the field and will take a timeout. Mike Allstott is the lone back. And Allstott gets the call, and he powers his way to the 2. Ed McDaniel was one of many purple jerseys in on the play.
There's a many of them again. That's the same kind of thing. Remember I told you they're kind of mirror defenses and mirror teams? They all get to the ball really well, and they're well disciplined. And I like about this Minnesota Viking defense is, yeah, they don't have a lot of size up front, and they know that in these situations, those down people will be low, giving their second line of defenders a chance to make the play. There's Jerry Ball stuck in there, and there's a guy who can drop his anchor and do it from a low position.
Third and goal, Anthony and Copeland, wide receivers. And Warwick Dunn in there as well. And the pass is caught. Touchdown, Riddell Anthony, and a flag goes down. So let's wait.
Washington was all over him on the coverage, and that ball had some mustard on it, boy. It came out quick.
Pass interference, number 20 on the defense. It's declined.
And you can tell by the call and the crowd reaction that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have finally got on the scoreboard.
Watch the coverage, stays on. Now watch the ball. Thrown the only place it could be. That was a good call by the official and a great throw by Trent Dilfer. Riddell Anthony worked to get to the inside, and the ball came perfectly thrown.
Anthony's third touchdown catch of the season. Michael Houston hasn't had much activity, and the extra point is no good. Houston has missed his third extra point of the season, and a big one miss because that makes the score 10-6, and the Vikings are up by 4. A critical miss by Houston off to the right.
He just shanked that bad boy
off the upright. 10-6. We'll be back. kickoff by Houston sails out of the end zone, a touchback, and Minnesota will take over on the 20.
They're going to have to be careful that their rear ends don't hurt after this game, because this one could come back and bite them. I want you to watch Dennis Green in the kick. Here's Dennis Green down here, and watch Steve Walsh, the holder. And then I want you to watch right there. Did you see all that sand fly? He kicked the ground pretty darn good. And he's looking down at it. See this? He's looking down here like it was the ground's fault. I don't know what this counsel it is, but he's that.
Well, he hit it fat. That's what we say in golf.
That's how it is.
1st and 10 at the 20 for the Vikings, who lead by 4. Brad Johnson swings it out to Leroy Horde, and he is pushed out of bounds after a gain of 4. Robert Smith, who has been out with a sprained ankle.
He's going to be mad at me.
And has been out quite a while.
Remember last night we were talking to him. He said, you know, you're sick of talking about the injuries. He said, yeah, last time I talked to you was that Chicago game. I said, forget I even said the question. You know, and then I brought it up, and then you're going to give me the old whammy, I think.
It's too bad, because all he has to do is stay healthy, and he's one of the best in the league, is anyway. 2nd down and 6. Here is Leroy Horde, and John Lynch, the strong safety, got to him, a pickup of 1.
You know, this is the exact same thing that happened 2 weeks ago, and Barry Sanders took it to the house. And this is the difference now. 2 weeks ago, they came up, and Lynch came up, and they didn't squeeze the outside, and they gave themselves a huge opening in here. But now Lynch fills the hole. A, it's not Sanders. B, the hole's not as big. He holds the outside, and you're not going to get fooled twice if you're John Lynch.
They've stopped the run, the Bucs have, but Minnesota has worn out this defense. They've been on the field too long.
This is one of those jobs when Brad Johnson likes to go right up the middle.
3rd down and 5. And 2 flags dropped.
Ball start. Prior to the snap, number 73.
Todd Stussy,
offense.
left
Third
tackle.
down.
You watch Todd Stussy right here, the left tackle. Just a little bit too much jump there in his pass set.
8:43 remaining in the 4th quarter. Only 6 penalties today. Well played game. 3rd down and 10 following the penalty.
That left side is their strength, and both of those guys have had 2 penalties.
3 wide receivers for Brad Johnson. And his pass knocked down, intended for Glover, the tight end.
There's that matchup
Hardy Nickerson.
that Howie Long was talking about in the pregame show. Hardy Nickerson on Glover inside. And that's another one, and Derek Brooks is right there on top of it too. You can see Brooks is standing right inside. They're going to take Glover. He scans the field and comes back inside. Watch the break on the ball. Nickerson is here. Nice job by Brooks on the top, and the ball comes flopping out.
Mitch Berger back to kick for the Vikings. Carl Williams goes back to receive for Tampa Bay. And another good kick by Berger. Williams at the 38. Trying to turn the corner, runs into his own man, and finally is dropped at the 41-yard line by Pete Bursich. And a flag is down, and now another goes. 2 penalty markers are tossed.
Dick, I'm going to tell you, Greg Briggs made that whole play because he held the outside. Had he not done that, they could have gotten to the corner and scored. But this is good field position right here.
2 officials who threw their hats as well.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 81 of the kicking team.
That's Chris Walsh. And that's a tough penalty against the Vikings. And
right there. That's what he called.
trailing 10-6. Warwick Dunn straight ahead, gets a couple of yards. Ed McDaniel in on the play. Trent Dilfer whose numbers have dropped lately. First 7 drives were shaky to say the least, but he's 4 for 4 in this last drive for 69 yards and a touchdown, and trying to lead the Buccaneers to a go-ahead touchdown here.
Now what they are with his Tampa Bay defense, this is Mike Shula, he's patient. He's patient and sticks to the plan.
Warwick Dunn leaves the game. Patrick Hape comes in as a blocker in front of Mike Allstott. 2nd down and 9 and a play fake. Dilfer under pressure. Going deep. Pass tipped away by Corey Fuller. Great play by Fuller, intended for Horace Copeland, and you couldn't make a touchdown saving play any better than that.
And Dilfer had to take the shot. And watch, Fuller's going to hold the outside, and then he's going to get help on the inside from Orlando Thomas. Now you take your shot over the top, but I mean, that is as good as it gets. It's as good as it gets, trailing the defender and knowing where the ball is and then coming over the top. Watch the defense. Just a great job of Fuller at the end. Beautiful.
Rob Thomas has come in, number 84, as a 3rd wide receiver for Tampa Bay. 3rd down and 9. Dilfer under pressure, and the pass knocked down by Derek Alexander. And that will bring up 4th down. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's turn punt. 57 yards to set up the Viking touchdown. Is back deep. Landetta with a booming kick, and it takes a Tampa Bay bounce and is down.
Oh, that's a mistake.
Shelton Quarles.
Oh, they were lucky. Shelton Quarles carried that ball almost into the end zone, and had that thing not been whistled right there, he's getting a lesson right now by Derek Brooks. Yeah, it would have been a touchback. Yeah, watch him. Yeah, Shelton Quarles, 53, is going to come down, makes the catch right there, and then he realizes it almost too late. But he was lucky that the whistle blew. Had it not blown, that would have been out to the 20-yard line.
He realized it late, tried to throw it backhand.
I have no quarrels with him. Dun-dun-dun.
Why would you? Vikings with 7:05 to go, a 1st down on their 7-yard line. Leroy Horde has been in running back with Robert Smith out of action with an injury. Brad Johnson will take off, and his first running foray of the day brings him out to the 10. Well, it's the final countdown to the season premiere of The X-Files. And unless you see this episode, you won't be ready 1 week from tonight for, Matt, the television event of the year, The X-Files season premiere. The countdown continues tonight at 9, 8 Central on Fox.
The television event, that means there must be a football game in there someplace for me.
2nd and 7 on the 10. Here's Horde. Leroy Horde to the 12-yard line. Nickerson and Ahanatu in on the play.
You know, anytime there's a play by that Tampa defense, the one guy who's always around it is going to be Derek Brooks. And Derek Brooks is a guy who's really interesting. You know, his nickname is Bo. I asked him why. He said he was bow-legged as a kid, and he had to wear braces on his legs. And for a guy who's he's the 2nd fastest. He gets mad at me when I say it. 2nd fastest linebacker in the league.
Coakley, right?
Yeah, Coakley can beat him. He don't believe it.
3rd and 6. 4 wide receivers in for the Vikings. And this pass is caught. Jake Reed. And that will be good enough for a Viking 1st down with 5:44 remaining in the 4th.
Watch Floyd working on the outside. They're going to give him a cushion. And Jake Reed's going to take it. The other half of that is Johnson's going to see it. And he's just going to take the same thing. You're going to give him the 1st. He's going to take the 1st.
That was only the 2nd catch of the game by Jake Reed.
You heard the guys talking about it on the pregame show about making Carter have to carry the load and trying to take Jake Reed away.
And they've done that. 1st down on the 18, and the give is to Leroy Horde, who stopped at the 19 by Hardy Nickerson. Short gain on the play as we wind down to 5 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the expressed written consent of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the NFL is prohibited. Dick Stockton, Matt Millen, Pam Oliver here in Tampa. First place at stake in the NFC Central. Vikings leading 10-6. Have a 2nd and 9 on the 19. Play fake. Brad Johnson's pass is caught by Jake Reed, and now Reed starts to cook. And a first down to the 37. Gain of 18.
Again, he's working on Floyd Young over there. And this is another one of those things where they start one way and then they bring him back across the formation. They're trying to draw the defense one way and bring him back across. And a nice job of Johnson is staying in the pocket and being patient.
Vikings trying to extend their winning streak to 4 in a row and go 6-2 on the year. A first down on the 37. And here's Charles Evans, the first back through, and nothing there. Might have picked up a couple on second effort.
There was something there. It was Hardy Nickerson. He took Hardy for a ride. Hardy will whack you. I mean, he'll hit you hard. Sometimes it's just not enough of Hardy Nickerson. He's only like 235 pounds. And watch Charles Evans weighs 200. He's the same, around 240. Lowers that shoulder, and that's called running behind your pads. Then he just takes him for a little bit of a ride.
You know, it's interesting. Against Detroit, we hardly mention his name, and all we're doing today is mentioning Dickerson's name. 2nd and 7. Leroy Horde off the left side. And he is brought down by Culpepper and Rufus Porter.
Dick, you see what's happening right now. When the Vikings want to establish a ground game and keep it going, they go behind that left side. Stussy and McDaniel are the guys who are paving the way.
Timeout. Tampa Bay. We'll be right back. There's that pump fake again, and Brad Johnson's pass to Jake Reed. First down into Buccaneer territory. Gain of 11, defended by the rookie Floyd Young.
Well, Floyd Young is getting a lesson by Jake Reed. And he's going to try to take away anything, get his hands on him. And when you try to be physical with a physical player, you really got to be ready. And he tried to get up there and just kind of mirror him and then try to get a jam. But Jake Reed's a big man. He's a big guy and very strong. You could see just kind of swatted him and then took it.
He has 4 catches. 3 of them have come in this drive.
That's smart offense by Brian Billick. He's spreading you out and making you get the matchup outside, then taking advantage of it.
First down and Leroy Horde. Horde's a good man for the Vikings to have in there. He's healthy. Has not been for a while as the Bucs call another timeout. He's a strong back who can hold on to the ball. We'll be right back. At the 49-yard line, here is Horde with Evans blocking, and Sapp misses him. And Horde continues to go and stays in bounds. The clock continues to run.
Smart move by Horde, staying in bounds, and a bad tackling job by Sapp.
Gain of 6 yards. And now the clock stops.
See him, he knew. Watch him avoid the tackle. Now he stopped. They stopped the clock. I didn't see a timeout anywhere. So they must have said he went out of bounds. It's still sitting at 2:41. That's not a good job. It's a good job by Tampa of making sure he gets out of bounds.
Well, the official initially wound his arm as if the clock would continue to run. 3rd down and 5. This is a big down.
That was a big play.
Brad Johnson looking for a target. Incomplete. Walsh was the intended receiver. And broken up by Abraham, and it'll be 4th down.
Hey, watch what Monty Kiffin does. You know you're getting worked up here. So now he takes the safety, puts him over the side. You think he's going to go this way. You bring the blitz from that side. Take this away, force him to go someplace else, and then the ball is thrown, and it's incomplete to Walsh, who's working on Abraham in the slot. All of it's set up because Monty Kiffin did his homework, knew what was going on, took away the primary read, and made him come back the other side.
Kiffin, formerly assistant coach with the Vikings. There's the punt by Berger. Carl Williams at the 11-yard line is dropped immediately. And so that was a big special teams play. So the Buccaneers will have a long way to go. They need a touchdown. Field goal will do no good. Today's game was produced by Richard Zients and directed by Artie Kempner. Our technical producer is Dean Walker, and a great job by our technical staff today. Special thanks also to our crew in videotape, Jay Beckman, Victor Gonzalez, Jerry Hausfeld, and Lars Pacheco. The senior producer of Fox Sports is Bill Brown, and the executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill.
And a special thanks to Pete Macheska, the producer on site here in the booth.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line for the Buccaneers. We'll have to go 89 yards. Dumping it off to Warwick Dunn, and he is hit immediately. They did not let Dunn get underway, and a gain of 3.
You know, Dick, Horde getting out of bounds is a big play. I mean, that's a real big play because it stopped the clock and gave him the 2-minute warning here.
Only one timeout left for the Bucs. Dilfer going back, and his pass is caught by Riddell Anthony. And the reception gives Tampa Bay a first down as we get down to the 2-minute warning with 1:57 showing on the clock. First down at the 33-yard line. We've just had our 2-minute warning. The Bucs have only one timeout remaining. The pass to Dave Moore, the tight end, to the 40-yard line. A gain of 7 yards, and now it's a race against the clock. The Bucs need a touchdown. A field goal will do them no good.
Remember, defensively, you defend for the touchdown. You give up the yardage, it doesn't matter. You defend for the touchdown in the clock.
Here is Dilfer being chased by Randall, and now Rudd comes in and makes the play. Dwayne Rudd.
That's a bad play by the quarterback. He's got to throw that thing away and stop the clock. Don't try to hold on to it and make a play. You see you have nothing. You see the good coverage. Throw it out of bounds.
And they're setting it up in a hurry. 3rd down and 4. And this is 2-down territory for Tampa Bay, of course. Dilfer's pass is caught by Carl Williams. First down.
They better hurry up that offensive line. Now they got to stop the clock.
They're winding down to a minute to go. They still have one timeout remaining. They've got to spike the ball. They've taken too much time already. Dilfer tripped going back and throws it out of bounds. They could have saved all that by just spiking the ball and saved maybe 10 or 12 seconds.
Well, they got some lead in their rear end, that offensive line. Dilfer's getting up, holding his wrist, not real pleased. Clemens hit him at the end of that play, but that offensive line, hey, it's time. You better be conditioned right now. Forget the extra guts and rear ends that are big and blobby. You got to get to the line of scrimmage.
Dilfer shaken up. He's back in the huddle, however. 2nd and 10 now at the 46, and John Randall goes out.
Ooh, that surprises me.
Wayne Clemens is in there. 2nd down and 10.
Good protection.
Dilfer has a lot of time. He's going deep, and the pass intended for Rob Thomas, and Corey Fuller, who made a sensational play on the last series, was covering downfield.
That had no shot from the start. Corey Fuller is playing smart football. Rule number 1, don't get beat deep. Go ahead, do all the double moves you want. You think he's going to bite back there? Not even close. And then Dilfer took a chance that you don't take a chance with. You don't have to get the whole thing right here. You have 45 seconds left. Get more of the field before you try to get the whole thing.
3rd down and 10 now at the 46. The Bucs have 2 downs to get the first down, but time is running out. Dilfer loses the ball. Picks it up, fires, and it's tipped incomplete. Riddell Anthony, the intended receiver, and Buccaneers showing perhaps, Matt, inexperience down the stretch in the 2-minute drill offensively.
Well, I mean, you know what it is right here. First of all, he drops the ball. Okay, that stuff's going to happen. Now pick it up and realize you have time. You don't have to be in a hurry. So he got up and rushed right away, and he had the receiver. Had the ball been thrown inside, they're going to give you the first down. Live for another down.
4th and 10 coming up, and the last opportunity for Tony Dungy and the Buccaneers. They must get the first down here. Otherwise, relinquish the ball and the game to the Vikings.
Now that's going to be on Paul Gruber, the left tackle.
False start.
Yeah, he's set, and then he moved. Once you're set and you're down in that position, you can't move.
Ball start. Number 74, offense.
This has been a
Still fourth down.
ragged exhibition by the Buccaneers in their attempt to get back and win this game. First the missed extra point, then they had to go 89 yards for the score, and they have been sloppy. Foge Fazio, the defensive coordinator of the Vikings, and he's done a good job today with his crew. Fourth down and now 15. Dilfer fires, and the pass is caught by Anthony, and it is a first down. Only one timeout left, and now they're going to use it. The Bucs call a timeout with 22 seconds to go, and they are at the Minnesota 40. We'll be right back.
They're still going to give you the first down, so you take it. They're going to play off. They're going to defend the end zone.
Dilfer getting rushed, and Dilfer dumps it off to Warwick Dunn. He's dangerous, and Dunn gets it inside the 25, but time is starting to run out. They're going to have to get up and spike it in a hurry. And they do with 4 seconds remaining in the game.
I got to tell you something, Dick. Watching this whole thing, it is obvious to me that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have not been in this position very often, because that was really poor clock management. I mean, you have to know what you're doing, and you have to be precise. And you can't waste precious time when you have a full 2 minutes.
Well, it's been a long time since the Buccaneers were in a position at this point of the season to be fighting for a division lead.
So now you have to throw in the end zone. That's your only hope. So you defend the whole end zone and either hope you get somebody fall down or a penalty.
So this could be the last play of the game. Trent Dilfer back to throw. Time has run out, and the pass is tipped incomplete.
No flags.
And the ball game is over, and the Minnesota Vikings have won. Orlando Thomas broke it open, intended for Riddell Anthony, and the missed extra point put a lot of pressure on the Bucs offense, and the Minnesota Vikings have won their 4th consecutive game, defeating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have now dropped their 3rd in a row. Here's that last play.
Well, it just came down to what you had to do. You have to take your shot into the end zone. You'd like to get better odds than having 5 defenders on 2 receivers, but that's what's going to happen. And when you throw like that, you're going to feel that way.
Right now, let's go down to Pam Oliver, who's with Brad Johnson.
All right, Brad, obviously a critical game for you guys. Tell me what it means for you guys to be in first place in the series.
This was a huge game for us. Both teams are 5-2. They have a great team coming down here after they've beaten us. Now we're 6-2. This game could have gone either way. Right now we have a big game coming up with New England. Every game's important, and it's a lot of fun when you win. It could have gone both ways, though.
Back in Florida, the place you went to college?
Well, I didn't play very much down here in Florida anyway, so I have a lot of friends. I had about 50 people come down here. I even had Ernie Els, had him come over too, so it's great to come back down to Florida. I love it down here.
All right, go enjoy it. Thanks a lot. Let's go back up to Dick.
All right, thank you, Pam. And our Energizer play of the game was the touchdown, the controversial one by Charles Evans, with 28 seconds to go in the 3rd.
What touchdown? You watch it. You be the judge. The knee is down. The ball comes out. You watch it right down here. Still hasn't crossed the goal. They called them 6 points. That is the play of the game.
And in the NFC Central Division, the Minnesota Vikings have taken over sole possession of first place with a record of 6-2. Tampa Bay drops to 3rd, and the Packers, who play the New England Patriots tomorrow night at Foxborough, can either move into a first place tie or fall behind the Minnesota Vikings. The NASDAQ post-game report will come up after these messages.